Go ra and do ra, I say. Amama seta. Ashidu, ashite, ashiwan vibrations, every baka. May your mind, bakas, and souls be old. May your omits be sound. May your bakas be leaven off ground. When we keep to the breath, the orth, the mothor, the seon, the soul of Ra guides and keeps you old. Ayan ma, I say Ra, Ella I say El say I. Christ story chaplain Tata Amen Ra. I Ma Truth Awareness True Talk can be a part of the greatest transfer of Ma Elth, that's intelligence, Amenology to Angodu. This is sound logic. And with all that being offered to you, being a fool is absolutely your choice. To Ray is Ray 1859. Go to Google, go to Apple, download the Kagadora app. Go to jesus.com. When you sign up, you get to download the iBaka to Omen that replaces your prayers. You get to download the Mithorian Kagadora file. You can print it, you can display it, you can take it to your local printing shop. You can click the link on our store. It will take you to amenra.com. That's our Shopify store. There you can buy apparel, you can buy books, and of course you can buy the Mithorian Kagadora 18 by 24 inch poster. This is your sound logic calibration because your mental health is directly tied to your etheric compass. And if your logic is not sound, if it's not tethered, connected to BaOm, well, then of course, cognitive dissonance and all that other chaotic thinking stuff occurs. I don't consent to draconian state, nor should you. Hashtag that in your post. Blotters or sport, that's spontelligence.fungi.org. Also, when you join jesus.com, you get access to the erectionary.com. That's our Ta'angodu sound logic decoding search engine that counters the words in the dictionary that die your erection. You're learning Ta'angodu because we speak motion. All right. So let's have a little bit of a sound logic calibration here. Question. If your God or Savior is said to be above, right, as in heaven, its name is represented by the first letter, and you are standing below, what hook will you hold to reel you upward? Okay? Remember that this is free will. It's a choice. But your belief system, the things that you agree to, the things that you understand are all contracts. They allow for what is happening to be. So if you believe, that the Son of God, which God is supposed to be source, the creator, and all this types of stuff, right? And you recognize and you're just fixated. Remember, across all languages, pretty much, right? For some reason, the word Jesus holds the same. People have their, little intricacies and things like that, Yahshua and blah, blah, blah. But the sound code's there. It's backed by the letter J, right? You have Jesus being a fisherman, right? He gave you the fish, which represents the fruits, but he didn't give you the rod or the hook. So the fish became the bait. That was supposed to be the food, which was the fruit of Jesus' labor. So he labored for you, all right? That's supposed to be representing saving you. So somehow you've gone from free will to agreeing to giving your tether, that at the end of that tether is a hook, because that is what receives the hitch. So you can get hoisted. So you can get towed. Right? So you give your hook, your tether, your rod to Jesus. And in return, Jesus is supposed to bring you fish. Or Jesus is supposed to reel you up, right? Because you're pointing up. Every time you want to celebrate sports or anything, everybody's always pointing up, and they teach you that heaven is up. But I broke that down and I taught you that that can only be the opposite direction, right? Because heaven is the opposite of leaven. Heaven is a log, right? Heaven is when you have to heave on. On is a life form, so heave on, heave life, right? So a dead body needs to be heaved because it's heavy. It can't move on its own power. It doesn't have any more charge. So you have to charge it or use your charge to move it, right? And then you have Ra. They tell you that Ra is supposed to be the sun, but it's the Seon. But anyhow, it's represented by the letter R. So we know that Draconians, no matter what letter, they control the alphabet because those are dead symbols. But controlling both sides of their artificial construct, they were forced to forfeit representing the good side or the agreeable side or the side that was masking as source, as God, because I am representing Ra, which is sound. So they can only represent the Draconians, who they are, right? So that being said, when you're fixated on the word Jesus, you're fixated on the letter J, Jesuits, Jew, all that stuff. This is what you're agreeing with, right? You're agreeing to give up your tether, right? And you're hoping that you can get saved, right? Everything's about going up off the ground. Well, that's not possible. Okay, if you look at the position of the hook and you're supposed to be holding it, it's not possible, right? It's not possible. It can only be possible if you believed your God or Savior is going to hook on to you, is going to cast a hook down and lift you up, right? That's the only way it's possible in your imagination, but that's not how it works, right? See, Ra is what's in the sky. There's no Allah, there's no, nothing else. Nothing else is up there except for BaOm. Ra and BaOm. Okay? That's it. Source, sound. Everything is inside the ether. The artificial construct is an artificial construct. It's all artificial. Okay? It only exists in meaning. Okay? It doesn't exist soundly. It can't move on its own. You have to move it. It can't do anything. It can't provide anything. Okay? So when you're pointing up, you're pointing to Ra. So therefore you have to convert, you have to turn away or realize and recognize that you're living a lie, and you have to live your lie in truth and stop pointing to the sky. You got to point down, point to the ground. Right? This is what we got to do. Because we have a choice now. See, you're programmed against the sun, right? If you're a Christian, right? They told you not to worship the sun and all that kind of stuff, right? And they told you specifically that the devil is down, right? But they told you somehow that, hell is the fire because you're supposed to be a parasite. And parasites don't want to go to the fire because that's when they get erased, right? In actuality, hell is cold. It's freezing, right? So the devil should be properly depicted, which it is in some cases, right, as ice. And that's what we have causing havoc in the United States right now, is ice, right? You got that? So this is a calibration. You got to reorientate yourself to sound logic. You have source now. Okay, you're standing. Okay, and if you want to go up, you have to latch your hook, okay, onto the latch. Okay, and when it's hooked with your power and strength, You're holding on, and it's pulling you up, because everything is free will. Everything is your ability to hold on. Okay? Just like God's power is its ability to hold on to you. Now, with everything going back in its senses with sound logic, right, you can see how very hard it is for God to hold on to you through the word. So now it has to forcefully hold on to you through technology, genetic manipulation, and so on and so forth. Right? So go to Jesus.com, get calibrated, go to Google, go to Apple, download the Mathorian app, get access to directionary.com, get all the books, all the apparel. Download the Mathorian Cagadora at aminra.com. Help us build, like, share, comment, support. Get on the Re-Rise Raw, deprogramming, deconstructing. Let's go. Get calibrated. Okay, if you're pointing up everything that you're doing, you don't stop what you're doing. Stop what you're saying. Change what you're saying. Keep what you're doing. That is your correction. Okay? You got it? There's no false. Either you're going to be with the real, and that is raw, or you're going to be with the fake, and then you have to change your behavior. Okay, so if you want to keep your belief and your thinking, you have to change your behavior. If you want to keep your behavior for the most part, then you have to change what you're saying. And that means you have to change what you're thinking. You understand? Let's go.